I recently loaded into Medieval Frontiers and went straight for maximum difficulty. Now, because it's a survival game, it's meant to bite. I wanted it to bite early. The opening narration and voiceover set a serious tone, and within minutes, I was already fighting the basics. Heat, weight, hunger, thirst, and a tutorial that fired tasks at me like a machine gun. Honestly, it's like meeting a toddler for the first time who is one of your greatest fans. It was bombarding me with things to do, overlaying other commands. I completely lost my direction and focus within seconds. This game felt like it wanted to be a realistic medieval survival sim with real-life survival systems. No arcade fluff. And honestly, once the tutorial had calmed down and I got to grips with it, it worked. It had some real moments where I thought, yeah, this could be really special. But it also had moments where it just tripped over itself and killed me for reasons it didn't even bother to explain. Let's review this properly using the SimShack 7-pillar review system. For me, the best thing that Medieval Frontiers did was commit to survival pressure. Heat from the sun actually matters, therefore shade actually matters. Overloading, your weight, carrying too much stuff, that really mattered. And the gods decided at night whether or not your illness mattered. So I drank some funky water, and unless you get rid of that funky water, it can consume you within about a week. But the gods decide whether you get better or worse. I really liked that. It wasn't just a debuff icon, it actually changed how I played the game. I also liked the intent behind the systems. Cooking wasn't just add something to the fire, bugger off and come back when it's cooked. It actually used a simple timing mechanic that forced me to pay attention. And that's way more believable than the usual instant buffet. The day-night darkness also impressed me. It actually got proper dark, the way that all night should feel. Although, realism took hits. Trees exploding into logs disappointed me, having already chopped it down and been impressed. I literally praised the idea of felling trees properly, and then it did the classic tree becomes loot piñata. Also, tools felt like they degraded too fast. 2 axes and 2 hammers in 2 days didn't feel hardcore. It felt like there was something off in the game. Honestly, I think the day and night cycle needs to just chill the hell out. It's all going way too fast, and you're not getting enough time to enjoy it. The biggest realism killer was the lack of clarity around swimming. I hit the water, I died, and the game didn't clearly tell me whether swimming was impossible or whether I just didn't know the controls. In a survival game, that's not a small issue, that's death. The opening voiceover landed well with me. It set the scene, and it sounded decent as well. The environmental audio also did a lot of work. Chopping, movement, small world sounds. It helped with the atmosphere and the immersion. But the mix felt inconsistent in places. Some tutorial voices felt like they sat oddly against the rest of the soundscape. And a lot of the time, the audio was functional rather than being exceptionally memorable. It did the job. It carried the game. It added to the immersion element of it. So it gets an okay score. When the systems lined up correctly, I did get properly immersed. Shade cooling me down from the sun felt great. Getting overloaded and moving like I was an 80-year-old man felt believable. The night darkness made me very, very cautious. The survival loop started to take over my brain. I need water, I need food, I need shelter, I need to stop getting sick. All of this was great, but immersion got wrecked a little bit by the pacing and the UI friction. The tutorial barked orders at me so much, so quickly, and so constantly, I completely lost my trail of thought. I didn't know what I was doing or what I was meant to be doing. It wanted me to build storage, then it wanted me to hunt, then craft, then cook, then build a bed, and then handle the illness. All this was coming at once, and it didn't always explain why I couldn't place something. So you'll notice these red lines all over the place. They actually dictate the terraformer, how sharp of an angle you're based on. So you have to find a flat area. But even when you do find a flat area, sometimes there's something in the way, and it doesn't tell you what. So it's a little bit frustrating in that regard. In addition to that, the torch, which is obviously essential at night in a game that's proper dark, felt like I was holding it a bit too close to my face. So rather than lighting up where I was trying to go and helping me, it kind of lit up my face and I couldn't see anything. I wouldn't say that was immersion breaking because, yeah, no, that's what would happen if I did that in real life. I just think the torch is being held far too close to my face. Maybe it needs to be held above my head, off to one side. That way, I might actually be able to see where I'm bloody going. So it's always a nice surprise when you pick up a game and you don't know what to expect, but you really end up enjoying playing it. Despite the rough edges, and there are a few, I had a lot of fun. When the game finally slowed down and I got my rhythm together, I had some storage, a campfire. In fact, I moved the campfire inside my house and I was cooking food there. I was crafting tools, building shelters. It actually started to feel rather satisfying. I enjoyed the sense of struggle. I enjoyed earning stability. I enjoyed gradually understanding how to survive. And I like how the game hinted and encouraged me to engage in exploration. There were some smoke trails the other side of the river, some points of interest, and I was tasked with trying to find some survivors. But the gameplay flow definitely needed a bit more discipline. The game often felt like it was punishing me for not reading its mind. Key actions were buried in odd menu categories, and the tutorial sequencing felt messy at best. It didn't always teach. It sometimes just demanded, without explaining A, exactly what it meant, or B, exactly how to do it. Still, the core loop had bite, and once I got into the game, I wanted to keep playing. So the frame rate looked mostly solid, but the experience was dragged down by bugs and interaction issues. Buttons, which are supposed to close down menus, didn't work, placement being blocked without explanation, the occasional odd behaviour when I'm trying to pick stuff up. I also had the multi-monitor cursor escaping issue, which didn't help much, but the game should still protect the cursor better in full screen or borderless mode so that it doesn't happen. It's a simple thing to implement, it just seems that the developers haven't bothered to do it. Overall, it was very playable, but it definitely needs polish and better UI/feedback systems. Visually, I think it looked pretty good. The character creator had extreme detail and a lot of potential, even if it was incredibly buggy. The lighting shifts throughout the day and night worked fairly well and atmosphere felt believable, but once again, it was definitely moving far too fast. The world also had a nice medieval survival tone about it. It looked like a place you could get lost in, and that's exactly what happened to me right before the mosquitoes and swamp nonsense finished me off for good. Now, although this probably shouldn't be in this section, I will highlight the fact that the map appeared to be a lot smaller than I would have liked. Now, whether or not that's a demo restriction, or whether or not that's just something that gets opened up over time, I don't know. But I would like to see this map be enormous. Fingers crossed it will be. So if you watch my actual gameplay over on the Sim Shack, you will be forgiven for thinking in the first 15-20 minutes that I was going to give this an absolute slating. I was not the happiest bunny, let's say, but actually I came away thinking that Medieval Frontiers has real potential. The survival systems were ambitious, and when they worked, they felt absolutely superb, genuinely engaging. But it does need work. The tutorial pacing certainly needs to be slowed down. The UI needs to be a lot clearer, and feedback from the game in terms of blocks, placement or whatever, that needs to be improved as well. I'd also like to get some clarification around swimming, whether or not you can, and maybe a rebalance around tool durability and the survival drain rates, because that just seems all out of whack. Maybe just adjusting the night and day cycle so that days and nights don't swing by and disappear quite as quickly and often as they currently do would help with the frustration. At the end of the game though, once I died, I genuinely wanted to keep playing, and that's the key. That means I did enjoy it, and yes, at times I was quite immersed. And I had a lot of fun. I had some giggles, had some laughs, I had some surprises, and I had some good moments. Overall, I definitely think this has huge potential. I'm kind of liking it to a Kingdom Come Deliverance game that's got an extra level of hardcore difficulty about it.
In a world of pixels where dreams collide, Sim UK reviews the honest guide. From racing cars to flying high, ultimate realism, take your wings to the sky. We talk about the truth and keep it real. Fact-based reviews, it's all in the field. No hype, just clarity, we break it down. Realistic simulators, the talk of the town. Real talk, Sim UK, we're here to say we keep it smooth, never lead you astray. News and previews and interviews on site. Set up guides to take your game to new heights. Honesty is the best policy, they say. Always tell the truth in every way. Yeah. From the cockpit view to the racetrack lanes, we dive deep into the code, explore the veins. Ultimate simulations that make you feel alive. Realistic graphics, man, we help you thrive. Each guide is crafted with love and care. No false impressions, just a breath of fresh air. Whether you're a newbie or a seasoned pro, Sim UK reviews is the way to go. Real talk, Sim UK, we're here to say we keep it smooth, never lead you astray. News and previews, tutorials on site. Set up guides to take your game to new heights. Honesty is the best policy, they say. Always tell the truth in every way. Yeah, we're diving in, no shortcuts here. Honest updates, that's what you'll hear. Simulations that sparkle, realism that shines. With every review, you'll know what's divine. From the mechanics to the sound of the game, Sim UK's the name. Remember the fame, we won't steer you wrong. We keep it tight, sharing knowledge in the day and the night. Yeah, got set up guides to make it a breeze. The reviews that unlock with the greatest of ease. Fact-based reviews taking the forefront. Realistic simulation, we always confront. The challenge is real, embrace what you find. Sim UK reviews just leaves you enlightened. No fluff, just facts, that's our creed. Bringing you the truth, that's how we lead. So come along with us, join the ride. Sim UK reviews, your truth by your side. With every honest word, you'll capture the thrill. Ultimate realism, the peak of the hill. From flying high to racing fast, Sim UK reviews, your knowledge will last. Together we can explore, uncover and learn. Realistic simulation, it's our turn.